What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who will benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, so the name of this episode is called Perfect Timing. Perfect Timing. So I want to take a little time today to talk about milestones and progress. Milestones and progress. Because a lot of times we think about our lives, about what our lives should look like at a certain age, the house we should have, the job, the marriage, the amount of money in our bank account, where we are in our career, right? And we feel like we should be either further along than we are, or we just have doubts that we'll even get there. So I want to get straight to the point and just jump right in. I think it's important to hear this stuff. So today we're going to talk about 2 areas. Number 1, whose rules are you playing by in life? And number 2, comparison through the lens of milestones in life. So let's get to it. Number 1, whose rules are you playing by? Have you asked yourself that question? Because it's actually a really important question. Are you building the life that you want, or are you going by what society is telling you you should want? Those things that you want by a certain age or a certain milestone that you should have reached by now. Are you building the life that you want, or what your parents want? What they've decided makes sense in life according to their rule book? Because at the end of the day, as much as we love and respect our parents or elders, and as much as they want the best for us and have all the knowledge and wisdom from their own lives, at the end of the day, it's our life. Because the truth of the matter is, if we live by their rules and what they think is best for us and not our own rules, if we end up not liking the life we have, 1, that's a life that's not fulfilling and a big waste of happiness and time. And 2, you could end up eventually resenting them for the choices they placed on you regarding your own life. And that's not a healthy relationship. Who wants that, right? And the same thing applies to your friends. No matter how much your friends may want the best for you and how much you may love and admire them, there's nothing wrong with not wanting to take whatever path they're on. Just like it's okay for them to not want to be on whatever path you're on. Because when you know what you actually want, you'll find that you're not as anxious about what other people are telling you to do with your life, or what society is telling you to do with your life. Or even the act of just being around people who you love and seeing them doing the things they do in life, you're not worried about trying to match them because you're playing by your own rules. You have your own ideas and wants in life that are separate from what they have going on. So be secure in your own life, in your own path. And for that to happen, you have to have a conversation with yourself. You have to decide and acknowledge that your path is different, and be deliberate about making it your own and not somebody else's. Get comfortable with knowing that your path is your path, and you can be free from whatever anxiety that occurs when other people bring up your path. When people ask you what you have going on in life, you can be free of that anxiety, because we all know what happens. You can be at a wedding or at a family gathering or a party, or you run into somebody you haven't seen in a while, or your parents feel like asking you about what you're doing with your life. And now all of a sudden, here you are talking about you and what your life goals are and your path and how that looks, right? Now, whether that's about when you get married or having kids or finishing school or going to school or moving to a different state or investing in something or who you're dating or not dating, we've all been there in those conversations, or not even necessarily a conversation, but being around other people and seeing their versions of their path. If you know that your path is your own and you embrace that fact and you are deliberate about making sure that it is indeed your path, you'll feel more secure and won't let anyone else's opinion of your timeline dictate how you feel or dictate what you do. So that's number one. Number two, comparison through milestones. Now, part of this is solved in number one when you do get secure and clear about your path and how it's different and why that's okay. You'll find that you'll just compare yourself way less. It'll be like trying to compare apples to oranges. But if you do find yourself comparing people's milestones on social media, those things that you feel like you need to be hitting at a certain age or stage, my question is, why? What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here and let's get back to it. If you see somebody post about them getting married or about them buying a house or moving into another state or having whatever kind of success, why does that trigger you? Think about it. Let's take marriage, for example. You see a friend post that they just got engaged and you think about how you want to be engaged or married by now. And you look at the perfectly taken, edited photo by a professional photographer with a Pinterest quote underneath while you are sitting there looking at it on Facebook. And you're thinking to yourself how you want that and don't have that. One, what you're doing is you're comparing your life to their edited version of their life. And of course, the picture is perfect, right? Of course, it all looks pretty. They planned it to be that way. And of course, they look happy. And they always post nothing but pretty pics and fun stuff and happiness, right? But the thing is, just like you have bad days or get upset or have problems, they do too. Just like you might feel like you look ugly today or tomorrow, you better believe she or he has those feelings too. You can't compare someone else's carefully curated content to your behind the scenes life. I'm going to say that again. You can't compare someone else's carefully curated content to your behind the scenes life. That's just not fair to you. In those moments, you have to focus on what you can control. And that's not just about marriage. That's about anything, right? But like I said, that's about any milestone. Instead of comparing what you have compared to what they have or what they're doing, control what's in front of you. Focus on the things that you have control of, that you have to do in order to get to your own milestones. Because like in number one, if you are playing by your own rules and you know that your path is your own, you can be confident in the fact that what's meant for you is meant for you and not the other way around. And focus on what you need to do to make things happen in your life. Focus on doing you and being the best version of yourself. And let me say this, or better yet, let me ask this. What are you really worried about? And does it really matter? And that's how I'm going to end this episode. What are you really worried about and does it really matter? Because what happens a lot in this instant gratification society that we live in, it's easy to focus on the next thing, right? To go from one thing to the next, that we forget that all we are actually guaranteed is today. And not to be too morbid or anything, but the truth of the matter is you ain't guaranteed tomorrow. You can go outside and get hit by a bus and not be here tomorrow. We just don't know, right? So imagine if you took each day and decided to really appreciate the course that you're on right now, knowing that you have things you're working on accomplishing and are headed towards milestones no matter what speed you're moving at. What if you just savored the moment of going through this growth? Because like I always say, you are listening to me right now, which means you have things that you want to make happen, things you may want to change or improve. So why not just savor this process? Because if you dread it or you put yourself in a negative place about it all the time, you're making your life have more stress and resentment. If you know you're not where you want to be yet, instead of constantly putting yourself down and reminding yourself how you have so far to go, why not remind yourself that you are on the way, that you are going through the process, that you are becoming somebody different? Why not enjoy all these steps on the way? Because no matter what, if you are headed to these milestones and goals, you have to take the steps any damn way. So why not make that effort to enjoy it, to embrace it, to love it? Not only will that make the process feel like it's speeding up, because one thing we know, time goes faster when you're enjoying yourself, but you will have a much more fulfilling life and journey. So again, what are you really worried about? You're not guaranteed anything in life, so why not enjoy what you have, what you're becoming, while you're on the way, while you're working towards it. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.